Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Whether or Not, the first episode of the spring semester. I'm your host, Luke Snyder, joined today by our forecaster, Filippo Formica. Now, Filippo, what can we expect to see for temperatures trending in this next forecasting period?
Well, Luke, as we head into the weekend, we're going to be seeing a bit of a warming trend, but after a cold front on Saturday, we're going to be seeing temperatures dive into some Arctic air.
Arctic air. Thank you for that, Filippo. We'll hear more from him in the forecast later on, but up next we have Nature in the News.
North America was able to experience a rare astronomical treat Monday evening as a lunar occultation occurred. A lunar occultation is when the moon moves in front of another celestial object, in this case our second closest planetary neighbor, Mars. The eastern seaboard was able to see Mars disappear behind our moon around 9:21 p.m. The occultation lasted over an hour in some places before Mars reappeared on the other side. Since Mars was in opposition at its closest point to Earth, this occultation was clearly visible to the naked eye. Mars is closest to Earth once every 26 months, about 2 years, and this year Mars was at its closest point to Earth Wednesday night. The next opportunity for viewing this phenomenon will be when the moon passes in front of Saturn around 9:39 p.m. on January 31st.
Pluto and its largest moon, Charon, have been thought to be created due to a large crash between two masses of molten, mostly mantle material. But new publications have shown that the crash may have been much more forgiving and rather a kiss. A new study led by Alexandre Ensemhuber revealed that the collisions between masses of this size can be treated as liquid and not solid. This results in a softer collision. The two planetary masses compress together, rebound, and come together again. If Pluto's orbit speed on this second collision was too fast, then Charon and Pluto rebound out of orbit. However, if the orbit speed isn't too fast, then the two masses stay in orbit. This new phenomenon has been described as the kiss and capture. While this orbit only lasts for a few dozen hours, the proto-Charon loses much of its mass to the collision. Scientists have used this discovery to better understand Pluto's present geological activity and are hoping to use this technique to learn more about Pluto's other moons.
Playing like a broken record, lake effect snow is back again. Western New York saw multiple feet of snow pile up at rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. This lake effect snow event follows the brief warm-up Pennsylvania enjoyed late last weekend into early this past week, which helped thaw out Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. These warmer ocean waters over the lakes and a strong westerly wind behind a cold front allowed for persistent snow bands to set up south of Buffalo and Watertown, leading to traffic impacts on I-90 and I-81 respectively. With extreme cold expected next week across the entire country, ice cover across all Great Lakes is expected to increase dramatically, shutting off the lake effect snow machine for the near future.
Among the many meteorological events that broke records last year, the Earth's global temperature was the icing on the cake. The average land and sea temperatures for different time periods are calculated using global temperature records, which go back to 1850. 2024 was the warmest year in NOAA's climate record, and land and ocean surface temperatures were 2.32 degrees higher this past year than the average for the 20th century. Compared to 2023, the previous record for the warmest year, it was 0.18 degrees warmer. This marks the 5th time in the last 10 years that the record for the warmest year has been surpassed. Consequently, the environment on Earth has been impacted in a number of ways. This year, upper-level ocean temperatures, roughly the top 2,000 meters, were at an all-time high, while Antarctic sea ice was close to a record low. In the upcoming years, more global records may be broken, and temperatures may continue to climb due to this dynamic environment.
And now here's your central Pennsylvania forecast. Let's start things out on Friday. We'll call it a pretty dull day with some chilly conditions in northern New England, very sunny skies in southeastern Pennsylvania, but as you head further west across the Commonwealth, that cloud cover will be increasing. Partly cloudy conditions across State College. As you head into Pittsburgh and Erie, mostly cloudy skies. Clouds will be across the entire Great Lakes region ahead of a cold front that we'll be talking about more on Saturday, but we'll be staying dry before that heads in. So let's talk about that cold front, and a wintry mess it is. Snow north of I-80, where accumulations could be between 1 and 3 inches. Not much moisture to work with this system. We'll be seeing rain across the I-95 corridor and the coastal plain, and the Pittsburgh metropolitan area will be seeing some rain as well. Just a tad too warm there to get any mixed precipitation. But right in between and right in State College, we could see a bit of a wintry mess on Saturday. From snow to rain, even some freezing rain in the Laurel Highlands as well. We could see some sleet there. But as this cold front starts to make its way through, we're going to be talking about some bitterly cold air. Now on Sunday, we're going to be seeing a low pressure form off the coast, and that could bring snow to areas that saw rain on Saturday. Mostly an I-95 event from Richmond, Virginia, up into Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Again, not a lot of moisture to work with this system, so we're talking about accumulations in the 1 to 3 inch range. And as that low pressure heads out, we are going to be done with the snow, but in comes that bitterly cold air that we were talking about in the upper Midwest on Saturday. So let's break this down day by day. Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 33 degrees, going to feel much warmer than it did earlier in the week. As we head into Friday night, partly cloudy and a low of 24, which was some of the high temperatures previously in the week. And as we head into Saturday, that's when we're going to be talking about that wintry mess ongoing. 36 degrees our high. Snow, then rain. Could see some freezing rain or sleet mix in, especially during the middle of the day as that transition occurs. As we head into Saturday night, we'll be seeing overcast conditions, a low of 25. Now, Sunday, we have to talk about that position of the low pressure. If that low pressure moves a little bit further west, these snow showers might be a bit more substantial, but as of right now, I think a few light snow showers, minimal accumulation, maybe a coating at most. But overall, a high of 27 degrees. Not a bad day in terms of the cold. Up next, we'll have a feature from Daniel Weaver introducing the brand new cast members for the spring 2025 semester.
With a new season of Whether or Not comes new faces. Matt and Austin have finished up their time on the show, but they'll still be around for one more semester to finish up their senior year. Brendan, Caitlin, and I will still be around for one more season, and we're thrilled to welcome 2 new members to the team, Luke Snyder and Filippo Formica.
Hi everyone, I'm Luke Snyder. I'm a third-year student here at Penn State, double majoring in meteorology and journalism with a minor in climatology, and I'm going to be a new teammate of Whether or Not this semester.
Hi, I'm Filippo Formica. I'm a second-year student in the forecasting and communications option here at Penn State. I'm from Sandy Hook, Connecticut, and I'm so glad to be on the show.
Both share many similarities with each other. They work with the Weather and Climate Communications Group as part of Weather World.
Yeah, I'm a part of the Weather World team as well. I've been on the directing side of the tower workers and forecast graphics and all that stuff. Just got approved to be a forecaster for this semester as well, and I've done hashtag headlines the past semester too.
Outside of Whether or Not and Weather World, both are heavily involved with student organizations here at Penn State.
I'm the president of the college's Earth and Mineral Sciences Student Council. I'm also an EMS ambassador. I'm involved with the EMS Thon organization here at Penn State, and I'm also a member of Campus Weather Service for the meteorology department.
Yeah, I'm the current head of communications at the Penn State Campus Weather Service, as well as the officer of trip affairs at our Storm Chase team, which you might see on the Penn State Instagram a lot.
While both have many things in common, both each have their unique differences. For example, Filippo has had a passion for meteorology for over 10 years, while Luke recently discovered his.
Yeah, couple storms actually, and they happened in pretty close succession. I was on the South Shore of Long Island for Hurricane Sandy, and we lost power for like 8 days, just surviving on candlelight. And we took in my aunt who was in the Jamaica Bay. She lived there, and her entire first floor of her home got flooded, so we had to take her in. And then like 6 months later, we had a massive nor'easter that dropped like 2 feet of snow on Long Island as well. So that really sparked my interest in the weather.
Yeah, I never really had that kind of initial storm that really got me into the weather. It was kind of my junior year when I needed to decide on my junior project for my career, kind of figuring out what I wanted to do post-graduation of high school. I kind of just decided, I've always wanted to be on TV. I've always had an interest in the broadcasting side of, the news, and I figured the weather was kind of a nice way to delve my more scientific side of my mind with a bit more my creative side with a more broadcasting focus. So it's been really interesting getting to know the weather at a more professional and kind of scientific level. So it's definitely was kind of a leap of faith picking this career in this major, but I've really enjoyed it so far and I'm really happy to be here.
With both Luke and Filippo joining the team this spring, Whether or Not is ready for an exciting new season. Whether it's their fresh perspectives or experience or just their overall passion for meteorology and communication, these two sure will bring some fresh energy to the show. Whether it's from forecasting storms to creating engaging weather content or just connecting with the Penn State community, Whether or Not is thrilled to have these two new members on the team. So get ready for an exciting new season of Whether or Not with exciting weather forecasts, engaging weather content, and of course, just overall fun. For Whether or Not, I'm student meteorologist Daniel Weaver.
Thanks, Daniel, and here's your extended forecast. Let's take a recap of our weekend. Friday, going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 33, much warmer than the previous week. As we head into Friday night, the clouds will be increasing with a low of 24. Saturday, we're going to call it a wintry mess. Starting off as snow here in State College, accumulations around a coating to an inch before switching over to some mixed precipitation and eventually to some rain. High of 36 and a low of 25. Now, a cold front will be sweeping through the Commonwealth on Saturday, and we could see a low pressure stem off that on Sunday, riding up the coast. Mostly going to be an issue for the coastal regions of Pennsylvania, but for us here in central Pennsylvania, just some snow showers from that with a high of 27 and some bitter cold lows of 11. Now, speaking of bitter cold lows, we're going to call next week brisk, as some of these high temperatures will be right around that low temperature. Monday only getting up to 12 degrees, and Tuesday going to be even colder at 8 degrees. Now, Wednesday morning is a morning to bundle up. Our forecasted low as you're stepping outside getting ready for work is negative 11 degrees. And we will be rebounding Wednesday to 14 degrees our high. Now, this is 15 to 30 degrees below average for this time of year. Our average high is right around 34 degrees. As we head into the latter half of the week, some snow showers on Thursday and those temperatures rebounding closer to that average with 23 degrees our high on Thursday and some mostly cloudy conditions on Friday with a high of 28. Now, one thing you may not know about Penn State is every single morning we take an observation here at Walker Building, and we could see some records being broken from whoever is taking that Wednesday morning ob. And that leads us into this week's Weather Whiz Quiz. Luke.
Thanks, Filippo. Yes, this week's Weather Whiz Quiz question is, what is the coldest temperature ever officially recorded in State College? Is it A, negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit, B, negative 16, C, negative 18, or D, negative 20? If you guessed D, negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit, you would be correct. Now, so we're going to be seeing some pretty chilly conditions on Wednesday, like you said. Now, we might not be as close to the coldest temperature ever recorded, but do you suspect any records could potentially be broken on Wednesday morning?
Yes, Luke. Wednesday morning, our forecasted low of negative 11 is just 4 degrees off of the record low for Wednesday. That is negative 15 degrees. So some bitter Arctic air coming in.
Yes, absolutely. So make sure for that tower obs worker working that shift Wednesday morning, make sure to bundle up for some potentially very, very chilly conditions and potentially some record-breaking cool conditions for that morning. So this concludes this week's episode of Whether or Not. Make sure to tune in for next week.